In the main event of WWE 2017 SummerSlam, we have the Universal Championship held by Brock Lesnar going down in a four-way for the Raw Universal Championship. It's going to be Brock Lesnar going up against Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. This is a big match. These are four big guys that are going to go in there and beat the hell out of each other. The only thing that I think that would make this match better if it was an elimination style match, but this being the fatal four-way, first pinfall, first submission, I guess you can say it's no disqualification, gets the win here and walks away with all of that gold. All of these guys have connections in feuds against Brock Lesnar to make this make sense. Roman Reigns is somebody who's been chasing Brock Lesnar ever since WrestleMania 31 in San Jose. Roman Reigns went out, he won the Royal Rumble to become the #1 contender. Then from there, they had the face down with Paul Heyman saying that he respected Roman, but didn't think that he could beat Brock. Rolling into WrestleMania 31, where the interference from Seth Rollins really turned the tide of that match. There was times when Brock was beating the holy hell out of Roman Reigns, and Roman was really laughing at the punishment that Brock was giving him. But you could tell that even though Roman had comebacks in that match, there was no way for Roman to overcome what Brock was giving him. Seth Rollins interfering in that match pretty much saved Roman in that match. But Roman has never been able to go out there and prove that he was going to be able to beat Brock. Samoa Joe, basically at Great Balls of Fire, became the #1 contender and had the match against Brock. In the lead up to the Brock match, Samoa Joe possibly is the one guy that has gotten the most offense against Brock Lesnar. Samoa Joe was able to lock in his finisher against Brock, and make him pass out. He's jumped Brock behind backstage. Almost looked like he had the upper hand in that feud almost the whole time until the bell rang at Great Balls of Fire and Brock was able to just overwhelm Samoa Joe. Braun Strowman has never had a one-on-one match against Brock Lesnar, but they are two guys that have had face-offs for the past few months leading up to this one spot. Braun is somebody that could give Brock a lot of trouble, but I am not one to put my stock into Braun Strowman yet. I don't want to say that it's too early. I don't want to say that I don't believe in the guy, but I just don't see him as the guy that is going to beat Brock Lesnar. We have heard the rumors come out that, Paul Heyman is a huge supporter of Samoa Joe and thinks that Joe is the guy that should beat Brock. We've heard the rumors that Brock Lesnar was leaving WWE and going to have a fight with UFC. We know that, Brock Lesnar is booked at several house shows. We know that Brock Lesnar is booked at several big WWE pay-per-views, being the Royal Rumble as well as WrestleMania. People are thinking that this fight is going to be taking place in UFC against Jon Jones this year. Many are also saying that it's not going to happen until after Brock leaves WWE, after WrestleMania this year, where Brock could go into training for the Jon Jones fight and sort of be uninterrupted. Maybe that means that he doesn't sign an extension with WWE around WrestleMania 34 and just focuses mainly on UFC and winning the big one. We had heard those rumors come out, as well as that, Brock was going to lose the championship at SummerSlam in a one-on-one match against Roman. That ended up maybe changing because of the plans leaked and were out there in the newsletters and things. I think that Roman's going to be a great champion for WWE someday. I know that people love to hate Roman. I don't really understand it, but I don't think that I would really want to be behind a champion that is hated, even though it's really being pushed as a babyface. We've lived through this with John Cena for so long. We know that WWE will just keep pushing the guy out there and act like nothing's going wrong, and they'll call it Bizarro Land and this, that, and the other. I think that Roman's going to get the win here. I think that it's going to sort of show that Roman is the king of the giants in WWE by being able to beat Joe, Lesnar, and Strowman all in the same match. I think that's just what the plan is. I think that's the way it's going to go down. I think that Brock's still going to be involved in WWE. They'll have to find some ways to use Brock when he's not champion. But to me, Monday Night Raw is a better show when the champion is on more than half of the shows. Brock, I don't think, is really on a quarter of the shows. He shows up before he has big matches, but then again, that makes the pay-per-views that he's not going to be involved in not really matter that much. But then again, Brock is being used more now than he was in the past. Would you ever think that Brock Lesnar was ever going to be used at a pay-per-view named Great Balls of Fire? I know the pay-per-views aren't really pay-per-views anymore because they're network specials, but it's a part of the involvement of WWE and then moving forward with the WWE Network and things like that. So I'm taking Roman to get the win here. We've talked about just about all of the matches. We skipped a few. I think this is going to be a good show. This isn't going to be a SummerSlam that people remember for years and years and years to come, but it'll be out there and it'll be fun. So you might as well just grab a hold and ride the ride and see what goes on down the road. Roman Reigns probably going to be the focus of this year's SummerSlam. I'm picking him to win the Universal Championship. I think he's going to be the biggest highlight of this year's SummerSlam and what is being built around. So we'll see Sunday, WWE Network. See you guys down the road.